Hello, everybody. Here we are with Caitlin. Caitlin, say hello to the Torah Life audience.
Hello and good morning.
Well, Caitlin, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background. Did you grow up in a church and being a Christian?
Yes, I grew up mostly in Sunday keeping church till I was about 12, and then my mom, through ordering homeschool curriculum, actually got a book called the Ten Commandments Twice Removed, and through reading that book, she read it and then set it down. My dad picked it up, read it, and then asked her, "Have you read this?" And she said yes, and we started keeping the Saturday Sabbath immediately and studying the Torah, and then so yeah, within a year, I think we started wearing the tzitzit.
Well, I see you, a woman, wearing the tzitzit, and it's quite controversial. Some women do it and some don't. Has this come up as you wear it? What made you decide to wear it?
I studied it for myself because I saw that a lot of only the men wore them. And when I looked at the word for the children of Israel, it looked to me like it meant everybody, not just the men.
And could you explain to the audience, for those people that don't know, what exactly the tzitzit is?
Yes, it's a tassel made with thread. Usually the traditional is 2 white threads and 1 blue per tzitzit, and it's a fringe, according to Numbers 15:38, that says to put a fringe with 1 thread of blue on the 4 corners of your garment.
Now, in this command, it says that people should make it for themselves. Is that correct?
Well, I guess it says to make for yourselves a fringe and put it on the corners of your garment. I don't personally think that means that it's wrong if not everybody makes them. So I guess I have a hard time picturing every person, I don't know. I guess I would see the wives making them for their husbands more than the men sitting around making tzitzit, but I could be wrong.
All right, so you decided not only to make tzitzits for yourself, but you make them for other people. Not everyone knows how to make them. So can you show us what a completed tzitzits look like, and can you show us how to make one from the scratch here?
Yes, I can. I don't have a completed one at the moment.
Okay, well, we'll see it when you're done.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get started then. Okay, I start by measuring the thread. I'm going to take the white thread here, and these are smaller tzitzits. Some people like to make them longer, bigger, but I'm going to just work with the smaller here. So I measured 28 inches on the white, and I'm going to cut that, and I need 8 of those because there are 2 white threads in each tzitzit. And we're going to make 4 for the 4 corners.
So you're getting 4 white threads at 28 inches.
8 white threads.
8 white, okay.
Yes, two white threads in each tzitzit, and there are 4 tzitzits, 1 for each corner. So.
And how long have you been making these?
About 7 years, I guess. Yeah.
So you're taking 4 white threads there. No, 8. You're taking 8?
Yes, 8 white threads.
8 white threads there. And now there's different styles to make them. Do you just stick to one, or do you do a little of all?
I have done a couple. The only 2 I've done, and I pretty much stick to one, so I'll just talk about that. I do the wrapping of the tzitzit, and I do 10, 5, 6, 5. It's the counting of the wraps. And the reason I do that is because there is, for each Hebrew letter in the Hebrew alphabet, there is a corresponding number. And the 10, 5, 6, 5 are the corresponding numbers for the letters Yod, He, Vav, He. And so I like to wrap them with the significance of the name.
Okay.
As a reminder that we're keeping his commandments.
Okay. So now I see you have some blue thread there.
Yes. And now I'm going to measure 32 inches with the blue. It needs to be a little bit longer so that you have enough room to. You're going to wrap. I wrap the blue thread around generally. So it has to be a little bit longer.
Now you were saying traditionally it's all white, but biblically should be a blue thread in there.
Yes, a lot. I know some of the that some of the Jewish people wear them all white because there's a debate over what is the actual Tekelet blue. You know, the word for the blue in the scripture is Tekelet. And so some of them feel like if we don't know the exact blue, then we just shouldn't wear the blue at all. But I think that I think as long as we're putting a blue thread in there, we're doing our best to keep it according to the scripture.
Sure. Now, on the blue thread there, how many are you cutting?
4 blue threads.
4 blue. So we have 8 white and 4 blue.
Yes. We're going to put 1 thread of blue in each tzitzit.
Okay, so now the different threads is for each 4 of the tzitzits or for each 1 tzitzit?
There's 1 blue thread for each of the 4 tzitzit.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to take 1 of the blue and 2 of the white. And I'm going to put them together, make the ends even on one end. They're going to be uneven at the other. There's a longer blue hanging down. So with the even ends, I'm going to put them at the end of the tape here and measure 10 inches. Now at the 10 inches, I'm going to tie a knot. Just wrap it around and pull it through. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Okay, now this is going to be the hard part. This is the way I generally make them, is I have, there are other ways to do it, but I have a safety pin that I put in my skirt because it's one of the easiest ways I've found to attach them. I put the threads through the safety pin and tie a slip knot, and that just kind of holds it, so I've got it secure. So now I'm going to braid, and this braiding part, not everybody braids. Some people just make a loop. I braid it because I think it makes it more durable. It looks nice. It's easy to handle and put on. And some people count the braids. I don't count them because I'm generally always doing something else at the same time or talking, and I get distracted and lose count. So I'm just going to braid until I get the length that I want the loop to be. And, you know, so basically however you want the loop to be, just braid it that long.
Now for the viewers, Caitlin's been doing this for many years, so that's why she's doing it so quick.
Yeah, I can slow down a little if I need to. Actually, the braid it's just a simple braid. You're just crossing one thread over the other, the right thread over the middle, left thread over the middle, right thread over the middle, and we're just going to do that until we get this loop long enough.
And what kind of thread are you using? You just get this at a
I'm using nylon thread, and you can use cotton, you can use wool. I use nylon. I like the way it looks and lays. And this smaller nylon, sometimes it can be a little problematic, but generally most of these smaller ones that I make and sell are worn by women. I do also use a larger nylon string that is more durable and works great for like men's tzitzit if they've got a tough job and they get dirty, and they tend to hold up well and they wash okay. So I've done both, but right now I'm using nylon.
Now, the length that you gave us on each of these in the scriptures, does it actually talk about the length being what you mentioned, or was that just preference?
No, that the length of the loop, then length of the entire tzitzit is entirely preference. I don't see anything in scripture that tells you how long they can be. And I'm making the traditional blue and white, but I do make these in a variety of colors. I feel like the scriptural requirement is just that it have one thread of blue. And so I've got the loop somewhere about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half long, and so I'm going to stop there because that's going to be big enough for most people. So at this point, I've got the blue thread separated from the other threads on the end that I just finished braiding. Now I'm going to take the blue thread and hold it together with the other side. So I'm going to take these 2 white threads and I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to pull them out to the side, bring them under the other strings, put them back through the loop and tighten that up. So it can be a little hard the first few times, but it's actually easier than it looks. It's just hard to go slow and demonstrate it sometimes, and I'm going to do that twice. So again, I pull them out, bring them behind the string, push it through the loop, and pull it tight. Okay, now with that done, I'm going to put this back on the safety pin. Alright, so it's held there with the loop, and you've got your white strings over here, and I'm going to separate out the longest blue string. So we've got the longest blue, and there are also various ways of doing this. I prefer to wrap, mostly because it's quicker and I think it looks neater, but some people tie knots at this point. If you were going to do that, you would just pull out a loop and pull it through. But I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to wrap. It's simpler, and so I go around and count. 1, 2, see. Yeah, we're just going to count 10 wraps. So we got 10 wraps all the way around all of the other strings. You're going to hold the blue thread out to your right. And now I'm separating out those longest 2 white strings again. So I'm going to get them separate from the other threads, and we're going to do those knots again, just like we did at the top. So you pull them out to the left, go under the other strings, and then push those back through the loop and tighten it up. And one more. So we're going to do 2 knots after every wrapping. So now we're going to separate out the longest blue again, and this time wrap 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get your longest 2 white again, pull them out to the left, bring it under the other strings, grab it, and pull it through and pull it tight. And one more time. Under and through. Ah, made a mess. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to do the 6, which is the number for the letter Vav. We've got Yod, Hey, and then we're going to wrap 6 to signify the letter Vav. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And separate out the longest 2 white, pull them out to the left, hold your other strings together, make a loop, pull it under the other strings, and push it through and pull it tight. Okay, and now we're going to do our last wrapping, and this is going to be 5 for the letter Hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our last set of 2 knots. I'm going to get the 2 longest white strings again. 1, pull it out, under, through, and pull it tight. So that's 2. Now here at the end, see how the strings are kind of separated? They split off. I take all of the strings together, make a loop, and pull them tight. So I do one final knot at the end to bring it all together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and cut them even at the bottom. And I don't have a source of fire with me. I usually use a lighter or a candle, and with these nylon strings you actually have to burn the ends at the bottom, but if you're using cotton you don't, and this is what your finished Tzitzi'iot.
Do some people use the blue cord a little bit longer than the others?
Some people do. I've noticed some people leave the blue string hanging longer, but I think it's just a matter of not cutting it off at the bottom. I don't really think there's any reasoning behind that I'm aware of. I certainly don't see any scriptural reasoning for it.
Okay.
But,
okay, great. Anything you want to add? Because this could look overwhelming to somebody who's never done it before. Was it for you when you first started, or?
Yeah, it took, I think I went through about 4. By the time I made a set, I was fairly comfortable with it. But the first one, it was awkward. The strings are always going the wrong way and getting tangled. But with a little bit of practice, it's not bad.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, if anyone wants to contact you with questions, do you have any a way for them contact you?
Yes, you can contact me by my email, which is living, LIVING, the number 4, and then it's YHWH @hotmail.com.
Great. And people can also post their comments and questions below the video, and we can reply that way as well. So anything you want to add, Caitlin, before we finish?
I think that's about it. If anybody out there is tries it and it's not for them, I have a lot of them. I try to keep some made, and I have them for sale. You can also contact me about purchasing any by email. So I think that will be it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways, Torah life ministries, come out of the world.